listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
Again, welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guests. And we've got a repeat offender. We better be careful today. Welcome back, Jenae.
Thanks.
You're not going to cause any troubles with us today, are you?
Depends.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I'll already apologize very early on just so I try and keep myself out of trouble here. And new author. Hello. Someone's got a little background music. There we go. Ed Paulus is with us. Who's Accountable is the name of the book for those of you watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us, and let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Ooh, a little loud there, guys. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. We give that to you right here. And I do have a great team, obviously. And when it comes to developing a financing plan, though, I'm the one that helps you out. They can take care of some of the stuff after we have a chance to chat. So make sure you put down the number, 800-306. Put it in your phone. I know nobody writes anymore. We were just talking about that. I can't even spell my name, and it's only got 3 letters in it. But we can develop financing plans for you. So put that number in your phone, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Another beautiful morning right here in Southern California. We need to find something every day. What are we going to celebrate today? It's Monday morning. Let's see if we can find something extra special in the celebrations. If I can get all these dumb ads off my computer, I'll give you the celebrations of the day. Let's see if we can figure them out. The 24th. National Punctuation Day. I guess that's good for you two, being your writers. I am going to give that the buzzer. And this one, I can't even say it. So now here's a fascinating one. So I'm going to National Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving. Jenae, I'll throw that one to you. Are you familiar with Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving?
No.
I can't even say the thing, no less understand what the heck it is. Descendants of a small Protestant sect that sprang up in Germany around the time of the Reformation. They were followers of Caspar Schwenkfeld. I guess we could figure that out, right? He and his this is boring.
I got a bad feeling about
We're going to dump that one also. So being that I have beaten anorexia, we'll just go with my first choice of the day. Drum roll, please. Cherry's Jubilee Day. I'll take that one. We'll stick with that. It'll be a lot better than going with Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving. You can't make this stuff up, right? Checking out the markets for you. Dow Jones Industrial Average, what a roller coaster this one's been today. I better check this number because when I came into the studio this morning, we were looking at down about 150 points. Then I look at the numbers here and they don't seem to be showing the same thing. Now we're down 182 points. What's happening? Why is that going on? Well, I will share that information with you in just a moment. We'll figure out why the markets are doing what they're doing. And oil up $1.66 a barrel up. Yeah, we don't like that one either. That does not sound like fun. Now, should we even look at what the numbers look like? Do we want to subject ourselves? It's a beautiful Monday morning. And I'm not sure we want to really subject ourselves to the oil numbers because we are in Taxifornia. We know that we like to pay more than anybody else. We know we like to waste as much money as possible on taxes, but you got to do what you got to do. National average gallon of gasoline, $2.85.1. Right here in the state of confusion, we like it higher, $3.65 for a gallon of gasoline on average in the state of confusion. Now, if you want to get gasoline today, if you've got a big SUV, you may want to go to Alabama because they're paying $2.52.5, $1.10 less than what we pay. I think they might have voted differently than the way we voted. Just saying, I wouldn't want to be the one out there spreading that kind of news, but I will. Moving right along, what else is going on? Yeah, there's a lot of fireworks right now. Now, I've shared with you many times, my youngest son works at Disneyland. If you are in Anaheim, you probably know about 9:35 every evening we get fireworks. Now, we only get them for about 5 minutes here in Anaheim. But if you go to Washington, D.C., you can get fireworks almost any time of day. Today's news is Rod Rosenstein. Yeah, you gotta love it when you get people in Washington, D.C. pulling this kind of garbage. Rosenstein looks like he will be out today. I think I heard what the president was going to say, but don't tell anybody, you heard it here first.
You're fired.
Yeah, that's apparently what we're gonna hear about Rosenstein today. Out at the Department of Justice. I guess he wanted to wear a wire in with and record the President of the United States. I don't know a whole lot about DC. I've been there once, probably 40 years ago. I don't think you want to be recording the President of the United States and think that you're going to get away with it. Just a simple thought from a simple guy. I don't know the ways of Washington, but I would guess that could probably lead to some problems. And apparently Rosenstein now, although he is in Washington, so we do understand that whenever you're in Washington, you get paid for life. So he'll probably go in, he'll probably resign before he gets fired.
You're fired.
Yeah, I heard you, Mr. President. But that way he gets his pension for the rest of his life. Unbelievable. Moving right along. What else is going on in the news? And yes, it is. We are still watching the witch hunt. Talk about the weird way of our country now. And obviously we lead it, the weirdness, when they're coming from the state of confusion. We've got the lunatic as our lead senator here, Dianne Feinstein. So think about this concept. She has news for 6 weeks. She sits on it. And now what are they trying to do is ruin the life and career of Brett Kavanaugh. Unbelievable how this goes on. Now, who's back in the news? You got to figure this one. Back for another rendezvous, porn star representative Michael Avenatti. Yeah, he's come out saying that he knows. Wonder how this guy gets around more than even his porn star client. It's amazing how now he's found somebody who claims 35 years ago that they saw Judge Kavanaugh doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing. But I don't remember who I was doing it with. I don't remember where it was. I don't remember what day it was, and were there anybody else there? Oh no, yeah, I do remember though I was drunk. Does that sound credible to anybody? Yet, and here's the one that I'm going to share this with you. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. Where is Grassley? I mean, he's the chairman of the committee. Why don't they get this guy to wake up? I mean, he's almost as bad as Jeff Sessions, right? You see what's going on here. You know it's a total smear campaign. I know there's another book out there I've talked to you. It's hard to remember the name. I think it's called Smear. Yeah, it was written by Cheryl Atkinson, talking about exactly how they do this garbage in D.C. But they don't want to listen to anybody. They think that this is the right way of ruining people. I'm not well, maybe I am a vindictive person, but wouldn't it be great if they did some of these same things to some of these senators who are doing this garbage? Do you think they might catch a clue? Just my opinion. And, I host the show, so I get to give you my opinion. And I appreciate you listening this morning. Bob, Mark, Joe, glad you guys are all checking in this morning. Arn, Angela, thank you for being here as well. Let's look at what else is going on in the markets. Dow Jones, it's been setting all kinds of records. I know we've got a trade war going on and it can't happen, but it is. So why is that? So we're looking at the index, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, using some numbers from Friday, being that I couldn't tell you at 9 in the morning on Friday what was going to happen by 1 in the afternoon. That'd be California time. But the index up another 0.3%, about 86 basis points, 26,743. Now, don't say dollars, it's points. It's the Dow Jones, so you can't say dollars. It's not. Think about some of these numbers. And now we're down, like I said, about 185 points this morning. If you've got a 401k, shame on you, because we've talked about better ways of investing your money. But if you do, you're probably smiling because your balance has been growing, and now if it's invested in Dow Jones components, it's at an all-time high right now. A lot of good stuff going on. Even the smallest increases makes headlines right now, as long as we're not talking about porn stars, Avenatti, and all this other crap. But if you are following the business station, which obviously I do on a regular basis, these numbers are pretty amazing. So could you imagine what they would do if we weren't dealing with all this trade war, tariff talk? Or are the tariffs helping? Maybe there's a little backbone for a change in the White House. We'll see about all of that. Big news this week, obviously, $200 billion new tariffs that the president imposed on Chinese goods, 10%. Wonder how they're going to spend that money. So if they have $200 billion worth of goods, they tariff it at 10%, that probably gives them another $300 billion worth to add to the deficit. That's just Washington math. That's the way it seems to work. I think I heard somebody that was over near the cash register today. Yeah, that's the... Whoops, stop that, guys. They get carried away with some of these things. NASDAQ, that slumped on Friday 0.5% to 79.87. Actually isn't bad performance when you consider that each of the FANG names were down by more than 1%. Only slipped a third for the week and is about 1.5% away from reaching its own new record. A lot of great stuff going on in the markets, but we don't hear that on the lame media. They care about... At least we haven't heard about Russia lately. I guess that is a positive coming out of the markets. But we're going to continue our conversation this morning. We got a lot to chat about, not just about Russia. We've got the mortgage market. What is happening in the mortgage markets? I'm going to tell you, I've just told you the what. We got to get to the why, so we'll talk about that one as well. We're going to talk about how much your home has increased in value. The secret to the 0% APR. Can you get a 0% APR if you're an existing Discover card customer? Talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime off here. Hey, look at this. We got a new book we're going to look at. How Money and Politics Caused 2008. Sheesh, I thought it was December 31st, 2007, and then we got 2008 after that, but I guess it was Money and Politics. We're going to learn more about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations. NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Gold Star is the only one I know of that has the Fast Pass loan approval. Save $10,000 to $50,000 on the purchase of your new home with that Fast Pass loan approval. Checking the markets for you this morning. We are looking 10-year Treasury up ever so slightly this morning. It's up 1 basis point. Not enough to even think about. As I mentioned to you earlier, the Dow Jones down 181 points, NASDAQ down 19, S&P 500 down 13.6. But what are we looking at in the Mortgage Minute? We're talking about the Fannie Mae 30-year bond. That one is down about 6 basis points. Again, not a whole heck of a lot, but the trajectory is what we need to be concerned about. Interest rates on the bond price going down, which means interest rates are going in the wrong direction. They are heading up. Ow! Yeah, so why is all of this happening? I know I've told you this before. Anybody can tell you what is happening. You can go to my favorite super secret website and get the what. That would be google.com. They can even get it right if they go and look at just the numbers. But they're a bit lower after setting record highs on Friday. Mortgage bonds also lower to start the week. Very quiet economic news day, but a busy week highlighted by the Federal Reserve. Housing data and inflation data. The Fed is fully expected. I don't think we even have to say expected. They're going to raise rates by at least 0.25%. It's a given. It's a done deal. That'll happen on Wednesday. About a 75% chance as of now they will again raise them in December. I'm pretty sure they'll do that as well. Case-Shiller, the FHFA House Price Index, new home sales, pending home sales, all due for release on the housing front. Lastly, the Fed's favored measure of inflation, personal consumption expenditures, that's due out on release for Friday. So that's why we're seeing all of this activity right now. Now, if you look at the charts, now only loons like me, there's a few of us out here, that will study the charts and watch where these gaps are, and I'll throw some names and things out. It makes me feel good. I mean, no one understands whether I know what I'm talking about or not, right? So we've got the levels of resistance, and we've got the overhead resistance and support lines and Fibonacci numbers. Does anybody understand or care about that crap? not really. But we are floating our loans right now if you want to try and get a little bit better interest rate on your mortgages, because we are right now, there's a lot more potential for the bonds to move up than they are for the bonds to move down. And remember, interest rates always go, and it's a mathematics issue, interest rates go the opposite way of the way the bond is going, just the way it is of the world. So let's chat. We've talked about this one before, but I think this is going to be fascinating. And I'll tell you why I think this is fascinating, because I know that there are fans of all political stripes, so to speak. And I think one of the greatest lines that we ever got from President Bush 43 was the fact that they're still writing about George Washington. So, how are they going to know what he did that was right or wrong, and especially this short out? So in 2008, right near the end of President Bush's tenure, the fact of the matter is the market went down and market crashed. It wasn't like 29, but some people might, depends on your perspective. If you weren't alive in 2008, probably felt a lot worse. So we've got this book that says How Money and Politics Caused 2008. I think we're talking about the financial impacts here. But let's chat with the author, Ed Paulus. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
So are we? We're not talking about what caused 2008, because I think it was stroke of midnight on 2007.
Well, okay.
I mean, that we can even agree on, right? So what's the premise of the book? Tell me what caused the financial woes of 2008?
Short answer, I think it's money in politics and the resulting corruption.
Money, politics, and corruption. Sounds like it make a good movie.
May I digress for a minute? My son's a Navy pilot.
Okay.
And he tells me, absent sabotage and hostile combat, all aircraft crashes are 80% pilot error, 20% equipment failure due to flawed installation or inadequate maintenance. So all aircraft crashes are human error.
Okay.
My contention is all economic crashes are human error.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we seem to think that we can overmanage some of these things, right?
I just think it's a political conceit that the elected officials think they can manage something when we've got a interrelated, recursive global economy. I mean,
well, how could that be, though? Because we had this revolution back in the 1700s because of too much control within one person, right? And we've got the greatest economy in the world now. So how does that, compared to all others, as Benjamin Franklin would put it, right? So how does that all tie in together?
Well, I was thinking there were two founding fathers, one of whom was Alexander Hamilton, I forget who the other one was, and the other one said he thought the American democracy was the best government the world had ever invented, except for the British system of government was the best government at that time that ever existed, except for the corruption. And Alexander Hamilton said, heck no. He said, it's the corruption that makes it work.
Okay, so, and we're certainly seeing now in this 24-hour news cycle that there's certainly a lot of corruption there.
Right. And I think the problem is that, at least from my observation, that our elected officials work or serve at the pleasure of the voters in their electoral district, but they really work for their campaign contributors.
That would make sense, but now the one question I wanted to get to before we go on to that, because you're 100% correct there. I mean, all the political officials ever do is work on their next campaign.
Right.
So the concept here that it's all political conceit, I would submit that a lot of our recessions are caused by overreaction of the Federal Reserve.
I agree.
But they're not elected. The chairman's appointed, it's a political appointee, right? And they generally overlap from one administration to the next.
But I do not believe that the Federal Reserve officials are really independent.
Okay.
They serve at the pleasure of the people that appoint them, and they're not I don't believe that they are unaware of the political campaign contributions behind those that appoint them.
You really think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder about that because you look at Janet Yellen, right? I mean, it's not like she was doing things to help get reappointed by President Trump, right? So she knew that she was going to be out because he didn't really like her.
Yeah.
So the things that she was doing weren't to try and promote his agenda. I think we saw the same thing with Greenspan, you know. So a lot of them, when they overlap to the next administration, you know, and I gotta believe that our current chairman is not going to be doing things to help a Democrat, and he'll be reappointed by whomever the next president is. So they kind of overlap there. I don't understand how that one works.
I take your point, well, Grant.
Okay.
My concern is that anybody who's appointed has the same constraints that those who appoint them have.
Sure.
Okay? And it may not be that the head of the Federal Reserve is particularly indebted to any one political appointee, but my concern is that if you have everybody worried about the political campaign contributors, that in fact sometimes we get hung up in the short-term impacts when it's the long-term trends that I think are important. I mean, back in 1836, British Baron Mayer de Rothschild said he didn't care as long as he had the ability to influence the spending of money in the British economy, he didn't care who made the laws.
That would make sense, right? And we see that certainly now, I mean, here, especially in the state of confusion, right? We see people like Steyer putting up as much money as he can for whatever he wants, right? Whether you agree with his political opinions or not, he's certainly putting up that money. And we see the advertisements now talking about the school agendas coming from other political people trying to get influence.
Right.
So it kind of really does go back to exactly what you were saying, is it's all about, really has nothing to do with us, the voter. It has to do with those who are voting with their wallet.
Right.
And it seems like right now, I've had this debate with a lot of people, Ed, that the big issue right now is the country, because of the way the Constitution is set up, that with the Electoral College, a lot of the influence is going to all the other states. So if we can somebody can control 46 states, they really don't care about where the population is in California and in New York. They can go out and be outliers, right? So because they're putting their money, based on what you're talking about here, this corruption, sending their money to control all the rest of the Electoral College. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna kind of dig into this a little bit further, because I love the idea of what caused the meltdown. And we're talking to a former commercial loan officer, corporate treasurer, financial risk manager, bank regulator. Hey guys, turn down the recording, please. We got to be careful with some bank regulators. We got to stay out of trouble here. You're not with the CFPB, are you?
No.
Okay, good. We're just starting to sweat a little bit there, Ed. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We're going to be back in just a few, continuing our conversation, talking about how money and politics caused the 2008 recession. We're going to get into what's happening with real estate prices. Has your home value increased? We'll talk about that. And discover cardholders. We've got a secret for you. We'll let the cat out of the bag. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street, our house. In the middle of our
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. They all are. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. So here's the big secret. Discover. Are you a Discover card holder? I know we talk about on a regular basis that there are different credit cards that you can go out and get. And they have various teaser rates, 0% APR, annual percentage rate. First off, don't pay too much attention to the APR because everybody gets to throw their own garbage into APRs. But if you can get a 0% loan, take it if you need the money, if you've got something to do with the money, if you can make money with your money. That's always the solution is if you can make money with your money, why not do it? So how does this work with Discover? Pretty simple. You pick up the phone, you call them, you ask them, and they may or may not agree to it. Or you can go right on your website if you're already a Discover card holder. Go on the website, go to the chat window, say, I'd like to see if you have that 0% APR offer available, and see if you get it, if you qualify. Not everybody's going to qualify, but it might be beneficial for you. Go ahead and take advantage of it. Now remember, if you're trying to work on getting your credit score increased, you're trying to buy a house, buy a car, there might be some obstacles here, but let's chat about it. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. We can see if it is beneficial for you, if it makes sense for you. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. So let's chat a little bit more. We are talking about who's accountable? Who did it? Who can we point the finger at? I want to know who it is that caused the recession of 2008. The author of the book, Ed Paulus?
No,
Pauls. Okay, got a silent E on there. Just tell me about that later. Ed Pauls is here. So, okay, Ed, let's start this off. Did the banks cause this?
Absolutely not.
They didn't?
No.
Okay, now I'm a mortgage guy, so am I off the hook? Uh-oh. That delay tells me. Wait a second. I think I know what Ed's about to say.
You're fired.
Yeah, it might be. Okay, Ed. So,
Is it you or I who am fired?
I don't know.
No, I think this whole market bubble started when the government guaranteed mortgages to low-income buyers. And they could never have afforded the mortgage if the government hadn't guaranteed it.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, so goes the issue of everybody should have a house regardless. That was kind of the problem there?
The problem is how they executed the policy, not the... I can argue someone as to whether, in the interest of social justice, everybody should have a house.
Right.
But the problem is the government guaranteed the bonds, and so therefore, ultimately, the taxpayer guaranteed the bonds.
And that's what causes the problem. Is anytime the government, beyond military, I'm not sure the government can do anything right. And they maybe even not even buying the stuff for the military. Right? I mean, the procurement area there, they might not even be so good at. But really, the government, they got in the way, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the problem is that if you look at, say you think that banks caused the thing, then you got to look at the cause behind the cause and the cause behind that. And if you trace the path back, you find all roads lead to Capitol Hill, and from there the road leads to lobbyists and wealthy special interest groups.
So it's all about money.
Yes.
So, and it was taking money from, it's the other way, it's the reverse Robin Hood then, it sounds like. All right, let's take from the poor and give it to the rich. Am I off track? Yeah, because we got hardworking...
I think it's... Remember, Robin Hood, no matter what he did, it was still theft.
Right. Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So if the government guarantees some bonds and you have low interest rates, then that encourages a financial bubble. Then the financial bubble jumps from the guaranteed stuff to the non-guaranteed stuff. And then everybody who's an investor then becomes subject to the bubble bursting at some point. I mean, I would contend it's 10 years later and we're still in that bubble. I mean, Warren Buffett, among others, said that bubbles always last longer than anybody expects. But his second rule was they always burst.
Okay, so hasn't it already burst?
No, it's about to.
Real? Wow. Okay.
Well, you started this morning talking about how the stock market had reached record highs.
Absolutely.
We looked exactly, the profile in the economy now is exactly what the economy looked like in 2006, 7, and 8.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this back at you then. So maybe, does it mean that it's another real estate bubble?
Yes, but I think it starts from the top down rather than from the bottom up the previous time.
Okay, you're going to have to explain that one to me.
Well...
I'm a simple guy, Ed. You got to help me.
Now, every time you say that, I want to grab my wallet.
I didn't ask you for a nickel. Sheesh.
Well, I'll probably never know.
Okay.
I think that the real estate bubble is being driven in this case by wealthy money from outside the United States, China and Russia particularly, and they're looking to bring money out of their countries to escape the problems they've got, and they're putting it into real estate, high-end real estate here.
Okay, we've heard that one from a lot of people.
Okay, well, you started your show by saying how that residential real estate's a good investment.
Right.
And so this is just an extreme of that example. And so the run-up in the high-end real estate's pulling everything else with it. But eventually, Russia and China in particular are going to stop that flow, and at some point then that bubble's going to break.
So they're already slowing the flow now.
Right.
And we're seeing that property values have gone, the appreciation has basically gone from about 6.7 to 6.2.
Right.
So do you think it's going to go to a negative or to a depreciating number?
Yes, possibly. But I do still think residential real estate's the best hedge for going into the crisis.
So you have to own it. So what is the answer then? The answer is to deleverage?
I think so, because asset values can always go up and down, but debt values stay the same.
Okay, so you just have to protect. So I am a big proponent that leverage your real estate to the hilt, especially if you can put the liquidity into some sort of a safe, secure investment.
I would agree with that. I think in a market downturn, you have to be diversified, but I think diversification's got to include quality residential real estate.
Okay, so how do you define quality residential real estate?
I come to people like you to tell me. I don't know.
I didn't write the book. I'm just here trying to figure all this stuff out.
Yeah.
I usually talk to people about 6 paragraphs of what caused the 2008, and I'm looking here. I can almost read the numbers in here. 417 pages to document.
And my wife says nobody will read the book because nobody cares.
Well, she's probably, I'm not going to argue with your wife because I'm married and the only thing we can do is get in trouble when we argue with wives.
Yes.
Right, Jenae? I mean, she'll tell, you're not a wife, but...
I'm not a wife.
But I bet if we argue with her, we're going to be in trouble.
Well, but the interesting thing, over the weekend, in the USA Today weekend edition, there was an article about what various political parties and interest groups think is important. And political corruption was only on 11% of the Democrats and didn't reach any of the Republicans' list.
Interesting. But the irony of that is if you ask people their opinion of Congress, that's only about 11% too. Approval rating.
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, so
Yes.
Either way, so people don't think about corruption, but it really is the answer.
Right.
Interesting. We're going to talk more with Ed Pauls when we come back. We're going to talk to Jenae Noonan. We're going to have her chime in on this and get an update on what she's been up to, running around the world, traveling and fighting people and all that kind of good stuff. We'll get an update there as well. And we're going to also chat a little bit about how much your home value has increased. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. How much has your home increased in value? That is our question today. Dramatically over the last 12 months is the answer. In CoreLogic's most recent home price index report, they revealed that the national home prices have increased by 6.2% year over year. We like that number, right? We continue to get more money. I know I had my friends here who are ready to tell me that.
More money, more money, more money.
CoreLogic broke down appreciation even further into 4 price ranges, giving us a more detailed view than if we had simply looked at the year-over-year increases in national median home prices. Remember, when I say national median home prices, that is a significant difference to our pricing here in California. I kid about it. Down payments in California are about the same as median home prices around the country. So here is a chart. I shared this with you on the social media channels earlier today, showing 4 price ranges from the report as well as each one's year-over-year growth from July 2017 to July 2018. Now you can't put numbers on this because all I do is use low-priced housing, low to middle, middle to moderate, and high, because a high-priced house in Kansas City at $400,000 might not get you the garage in Newport Beach, so that you can't use the exact same numbers. Low prices year over year up 8.9% in the low price ranges, 7.4 low to middle, 6.5 on the middle to moderate, 5% on the high prices. It is important to pay attention to how prices are changing in your local market. Location of your home is not the only factor which determines how much your home has appreciated over the course of the year. The bottom line, if you're planning to list your home for sale in today's market, let's chat about it. See what makes sense for you, what makes sense for your family, because this is not a one-size-fits-all. It does not work for everybody in every market. So let's chat, get your information directly. That's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Book writing. We got a book writer in the studio here this morning. Well, I know we have 2 book writers, but I know you were one of the early ones coming in that was helping other people writing books, Jenae. So how's your book writing going?
I'm actually writing movies now.
Writing movies?
Yeah.
I guess I can't. So I can't read. Maybe I can watch the movie. I got a face for radio.
I did it for you.
Okay, good.
I wanted you to hear my stories, and so I figured I'd put it in movie form so you could experience my writing skills.
So how do you? Okay. Holy cow! I'm gonna have to get another martini before I understand that one. So now I know one of the books. I don't know whether it's the first book, second book, 15th book, somewhere in there. You had one of them that was every chapter was a different person.
Second book. That was Victory.
So. How are you going to do that in a movie? Short stories?
No, the movie, there's actually 2 movies, but the first movie actually has loosely based off me and Ashley's story.
Okay.
But the movie is basically...
That's a fascinating story. Now, what book was that one in? Because that was
Victory.
Great. That was Victory.
That was
Great
Victory.
book, great story. So that would be only one chapter then.
Yeah, well, that was actually 3 chapters of the book.
Okay.
My side, Ashley's side, and us coming together to support women. But
and that was even before the Me Too movement.
yes, yeah,
you're a trendsetter.
I am a trendsetter.
Hadn't thought about that.
Hey, no.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have a new chapter in the movie.
Trendsetting. The movie just actually talks about like you can't really judge people, and it's really fun written about how not to judge people.
Okay, I could deal with that.
It's actually the movie just.
What's the big idea?
Yes, the movie it's really raw, and it makes the audience hate somebody, then love somebody, then it leaves the audience so raw when they leave, and I love it.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Ups, downs, and everything.
Yeah, and you don't know how to feel about people, and it really gets you thinking, and that's why I love writing, is to be able to get emotion out of people.
To get people to start feeling something other than just out there tweeting in 140 characters.
Yes, there's so much more to life. 120 characters. I don't tweet, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Right? You're a social media-er.
Yeah, but I don't tweet.
Oh, okay. Because
No.
I see all that. Was it Instagram? Is that you?
I do Instagram. I was off Facebook for a while just because the algorithm was like... Only I think like 30 people see my posts anymore because...
Fascinating. I'm a conservative talk show host. You think 30 is pretty good.
Yeah, the algorithm...
My wife doesn't even get to see mine, and she looks for it.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Like people were telling me, well, I have to start looking for your posts, and it was just exhausting. So I'm on Instagram.
Okay. What's the name on Instagram?
My name, Jenae Noonan.
Okay.
Simple. Kept it simple.
See, I can handle simple. So what's on the horizon? Movies are next.
Movies. I joined the circus.
Anything I say can and will be held against me for the rest of my life.
Join the circus. That's.
You're not fighting in the circus now, are you?
Actually, you know what's funny is last night I did fight in the circus. It's a pirate theme, and my role as a pirate was to do the fight scenes. So I can't leave fighting. I try to retire, then I travel the world, and then I join the circus, and then I fight. I just can't get away from fighting.
It's amazing. Haven't people learned not to fight you yet?
No.
It ends up poorly for other people in most instances.
Even on vacation, people try and fight me, and that didn't turn out well either. For either of us. I broke my hand, and he got choked unconscious.
I think I'll stick with a broken hand, right? I mean, at least maybe he woke up.
He did.
Okay, that's a good start there.
Yes.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Anybody that hasn't followed Jenae and her pursuits and her visits with us, MMA champion fighter, beating the heck out of people. That's why even though we like her, we got to be nice, right? I mean, I've learned my story here, right? Because...
So I know whose ass to kick.
Yeah,
not mine.
Exactly, and we stay very, very. We know our place in this world.
Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. Trust me.
So what? This like Ringling Brothers is out of business, right?
No, just the Ringling Brothers just took the animals out, which is amazing.
No animals.
No animals.
Why would I go to the circus then?
Well, there's still the flying acrobatics and the aerial acrobatics and really cool stuff that humans can do. Why do we need animals to entertain us when humans are so fascinating? Just listen to your radio show.
Okay. So you have some human stand up on a stool.
No.
And beg for food.
Yes, that's usually me. I'm usually starving.
Okay.
I work for food.
Don't we all?
Basically.
Right?
We do like aerial acrobatics. I pole dance.
Pole dancing. Oh, I like how you tried to go right. Kind of go back.
We do silks. We do lyra.
Wait a second. From what I remember, and I should have gone back and listened to some of our old broadcasts. There was something on one of the prior programs that you didn't want your mom to hear either. Now we're talking about pole dancing.
Actually, what's funny is my parents, they prefer that I do the circus act, and so my dad, who's extremely conservative, pays for my pole dancing so that I would stop.
I'm not going to even go there.
But he
Where you going?
I actually do the fitness stuff. I don't do the stripper stuff. I do the fitness stuff and the lyrical dancing. So all my clothes stay on. But he would prefer that I do that than get punched in the face. So I'm sure
that makes some sense to me.
I'm sure any father could understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he pays my monthly subscription to my aerial acrobatics, as we like to call it.
Wow. Never a dull minute with you. There's a lot of fascinating. Now I know why you can write all the time. It's just autobiographical.
Yeah, they say like life is stranger than fiction. I think that's the saying. I haven't had coffee this morning, but yeah, life is stranger than fiction. So
okay, sounds fascinating. We're gonna have to follow Jenae Noonan on Instagram. Let's find out more about how money and politics caused 2008. Are we going back to 2008? I mean, we saw the movie Back to the Future, Ed. So are we gonna replay the same thing with all these toxic assets, and are we gonna see it again?
Probably not that way.
Okay.
Okay. I tend to think, I look at the broader trends.
Okay.
Okay. The quantitative easing you talked about earlier in the show is probably going to reverse.
Sure.
Okay. I think I look at the government debt positions across the state and the federal, and I'm saying those debt servicing requirements are going to pull juice out of the economy going forward.
Okay.
I mean, California has only funded 70% of its accrued pension liability for the people that are currently employed. So at some point, they're going to have to cough up that extra 30%.
That's a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And a lot of them are moving out of town, so that makes it even more difficult.
Right.
Right. I mean, we watched the chart showing how money walks.
Right.
And it's leaving California at about $58 billion a year over the last 15 years. So where are they going to come up with that money?
The fools that stay behind, I guess.
That'll be fascinating because, I mean, if the fools that stay behind don't make enough money to get taxed to cover that debt, it's like a big vicious circle.
Yeah, well, my understanding is in California, something like 70% of their tax revenue comes from the top 10% of the earners.
Right, and they're leaving.
Yes, or at least they'll be able to buy protection through political graft, if no other way, so that at some point California is going to be a failed state.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I've been talking about that, the state of confusion, for a long time. How do we get a hold of the book? Who's accountable?
Well, it'll be on Amazon momentarily, and you can buy the ebook or the hard copy through Amazon.
Okay.
And we'll hopefully be up on other sites. And if you're a typical audience member, then we'll have to go to an audiobook in order to reach people like you.
Exactly. I mean, 417 pages. I haven't read that many pages.
Well, yeah, but 1/3 of it's the appendix, which is a timeline. So if you're asleep by the time you reach the next to the last chapter, you're still okay.
Okay, so we'll figure that out. Get a hold of the book, Who's Accountable? How Money and Politics Caused 2008. Edward Pauls is the author. He is our guest. Maybe if you understand what happened, you can help avoid it in the future. Although we seem to like to punish ourselves over and over again. Look at Washington, D.C. We vote the same people in every time. And be sure to if you want to punish yourself, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
I tried